want to use this opportunity to call on those who are attempting to foment trouble. That you have a right to protest. It's your fundamental right. It is there in the Constitution. But you don't have a right to destabilize the country. A right to protest should not be turned into a right to unleash violence. It's very clear that people who are already, it's already very amorphous, very faceless. So what it means is that people are preparing to loot and go around and do all sorts of things. Where we are today was not caused by 1 year's administration. It is the outcome of years of insecurity. Many people could not go to farms for almost 10 years and all that, and the president has risen to the occasion. I'm excited that, yes, indeed, the government is doing what it should. And we, the leaders in the National Assembly, we are touching our various constituencies. So my appeal to the Nigerian youth is do not allow any group to mislead you politically. People who probably did not have their fortunes in 2023 election are thinking they can come through the back door. That will amount to anarchy. Any destruction of any property will cost Nigeria money. And we don't have the money. Instead, let's put the money in developing you and developing your environment instead of going to rebuild.
The position of the Federal Executive Council is that most of the demands that the protesters are making are actually being addressed by the federal government. And therefore, it is the view of government that there is really no need for the protest again. Indeed, the president is already protesting on their behalf by doing those things that they want government to do. For example, the effort that government is making in ensuring that food is being made available. There is also rice that is being sold at about 50% of its cost. Centers have been created so that those who need this rice can go there and buy this rice at 40,000 naira. In the first instance, about 10 trucks are being made available to each of these states. Government has not pretended that these supplies are indeed enough, but these are necessary first steps that are being made.
Welcome back to the Sunrise Daily Studios, and our conversation shifts to the planned protests that's supposed to kick off on the 1st of August, to be or not to be. To join this conversation today, we have Mr. Tunde Bank-Anthony, who's a member of the All Progressives Congress and the former Director General of the Sports Commission in Lagos. He joins us virtually. Mr. Bank-Anthony, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, and good morning, Nigerians.
There's been a lot of talk about this protest. As someone said to me yesterday, it says there are those who are protesting against the protest, and then there are those who are protesting for the protest. At the end of the day, there is protests everywhere. But hearing from the government, I mean, this President of the Senate talks about the fact that advising Nigerian youth not to let themselves be used by anybody to destroy anything. And then the Minister of Information talking about what the government is doing. But in all of this, would you say the Nigerian people are not hearing the government? Or is the government not speaking loud enough?
Well, thank you very much. And you know something, right? There's a lot in communicating with people. You should know how to communicate with people. And I tell you for free, the way the Senate President spoke yesterday, it was so arrogant for nothing. For you, in your environment, in you. Are you not part of this community? But people like that, one should just ignore him. Because the last one he did in the Senate, he came back and apologized to that honorable senator as well. Let me just go straight to what Ajuri said. Who is the legitimate command of the president? I don't know if you have that recording on TVC yesterday. He is the spokesman for the president, and he spoke absolutely so well. He spoke the way the president would speak. For me, all those rabble-rousers should be just keep quiet. Those one trying to, they are trying so much to intimidate. They want the violent more than the people they are accusing. Actually came and said the president is a Democrat, he's a commander-in-chief, understand me? He will never go against protest, but the peaceful protest. That means a lot to people. So many people went as far as saying that this may lead to a coup. Do you understand me? Even a soldier man came out and talking about the protest. What has a soldier man got to do with the, in a republic for crying out loud? So we should be very, very careful. But we are at a very critical stage, right? I'm not talking on the level that I'm for the protest. No, I'm talking for those people who are busy making this a transaction, lying to people, creating scaremongering, just to get some money out of the government. Organizing all kind of protest. Like you said, it's a unique one in Nigeria, protesting against a protest. Everything is about what do we get from this thing. That's the bottom line. That is the bottom line. And if there's any mischievous move that this protest may fail, because the country Nigeria is bigger and greater than all of us. So I do not for one moment share the communicating skill of those people in government. They talk as if government is not, people they are not human beings. With the government, no. You know, I came on this program. I wasn't going to come on this program because it was the noise was too much. Until I heard what Ajuru said in his interview. The position of the president is the legitimate office of the president. So stop intimidating. Tell you that there's some ridiculous people, some faceless people. I mean, excuse me for crying out loud. We have been in protest here and out of this country. Look at what that man was saying yesterday. The man that was in your studio, or not pastor, what's his name? The same guy that was calling Aliko a parasite because of the sleek comment that came from Ahmed Farouk about the, because some people are just, they are just hungry. There's real hunger. Some people are just hungry. They are the people that want to benefit from this problem. That is their motive.
But Mr. Bank-Anthony,
imagine, yes, madam.
So, you know, we've been talking a lot about the communication skills, and I'm glad that you touched on that right now. Communication skills in a time when people are uncomfortable and when people are unhappy. But it does seem like the communication from the All Progressives Congress is different. I did see that interview that Ajuri had, and listening to his stand, and he actually said, and I said it yesterday, I'm going to say it again today, anyone who is not saying what the president is saying right now is lining themselves up against the commander-in-chief. You're lining yourself against the commander-in-chief because these are not his views.
Thank you very much.
So let's talk a little bit about your party, because you are still a member of the All Progressives Congress. Why so many different views? Is this a money grab like you've alluded, or is there just some lack of unity? Is the APC really this strange bedfellows, you know, where people are in this party and are not on the same page? What's going on with the APC on this matter?
You know something. Let me make something clear to you, right? This is purely a government matter. You understand me? The government and the citizens. It's beyond party divide. It is beyond a party thing. And views will be different. You understand me? Views will be very different. Because, like you said, look at the way some people are talking. You understand? People who are supposed to be able to communicate to the people, right? Everybody, the way they are looking at things, right? It's like, oh, the president does not want this thing, though, so let's go out there and break all doors because the president does not want it. Did he tell you that? Did he tell you that? He has protested over time, right? He has seen the results, right? He's a Democrat. So, but when all these fit columnists, the way they start and the way they talk, it is just scary. You would think the president is one directing them. Do you understand me? And they talk with a lot of arrogance, as if, oh, they're going to loot, they're going to do this, they're creating panic in people. We knew what happened, they refer to NSAS. NSAS should be a model of a protest anywhere in the world. I'm telling you, I will say that. But what happened at the end of the day? What happened at the end of the day to the NSAS protest? Who came for who? What happened? I mean, I saw a video trending yesterday of a lawyer, Femi Falana, when he said, don't let's forget, don't let's write history. And that is the truth. That is the truth. But the point is that we want to believe that, NSAS started with riots, with looting, with everything. So please, for God's sake, I don't think there's an intention. There will be an intention. All I will say is that you want to protest, excuse me, it's a peaceful demonstration, a peaceful procession. Like we walk from one end to the other. I don't know if they will allow them in the park. All these things should be seen and should be kind of visited.
I want to be able to get your views, Mr. Bank-Anthony. Let's talk a little bit about what we heard the Minister of Information talk about, the bags of rice now being sold at particular centers for 40,000 naira in centers across the country. We've seen people online criticize this. There's a difference between palliatives and development, and what the people are asking for is development and not palliatives. What do you think about these distributions and selling of rice and these things? Is that supposed to be sincere? Does that in any way meet with the demands of the Nigerian people at this time?
Well, you see, what I will say to that, I said in another video last week, the palliatives, I don't believe in it, to be sincere. With the way government works. But for the prices to go down to 40,000, that is a good deal. For me, if you want to eat rice now, which was 100,000, it's now 40,000. To some people, for me, it's not acceptable that to be giving people 2 cups of rice. A family of 3 could buy a bag of rice for 40,000 and share it between themselves. But the palliative, you saw what happened at the last time. This time around again, there was a video trending where they were putting the rice in another bag. They want to go and resell it to the public again. So if government can subsidize food, that will go a long way. That will be more meaningful. You understand me? And that should be constant. I mean, telling them we are sending 30 bags of rice to one local government or to this. I mean, for me, it's an insult to Nigerians, to be sincere. But giving them a subsidized or giving them like a food stamp kind of a thing is fantastic to assist them. You understand me? Not giving them rice, giving them money. We know the way that thing works now. The money is going to fly. Money will develop legs to fly.
I mean, Mr. Bank-Anthony, it's interesting that you're bringing up these loopholes in these interventions. But, you are a member of this ruling party. Your party has been in government for 9.25 years.
Okay.
Has your party, because, what we usually see is people try to deflect. They say, oh, no, the Tinubu administration has only been here for a year and a few months. But the party has been here for 9 years, 9 years and some change. Has your party been able to alleviate the suffering of the Nigerian? This protest, is it in your mind indicative of the failure of your party to deliver on the dividends of governance? Remember, 9 years and some change.
Okay. Let me give you a very objective answer, right? What we are saying now is very unprecedented. Very, very unprecedented, fundamentally. For crying out loud, right? 9 years of APC in power. Agreed. I will not argue about that. But the previous 8 years of APC in power, right, was by different presidents and APC president. Agreed. But have you seen, when I say unprecedented, have you seen the criticism of this present government, of the last government, in any political climb? It's like an Obama coming in to criticize Clinton. Have you seen? I've not seen that even in Nigeria. So there's a disconnect The failure or the inadequacy of the Buhari government was clear even to the people in APC. But at that time, there was no voice. There was no voice of them until there's a turnaround. Unfortunately for us, we still won the election. Not on the strength of the party logo, but I will tell you on more of individual strength. Because the president said this, you understand me? I did my election, I mean, myself. So please, that is it. It's a failure on the APC. I will not disagree with you. The last 8 years. Now, right now, the demands of the Yaria people are very legit. Don't get me wrong. Their demands are very, very legit. They want a better government. They want a better system. They want things to get better. Nobody will deny them that fact. But this protest, what is 10 days protest for? It will become meaningless at the end of the day. 1-2 days, you are good. If they hear your message, and as you speak, you could see the president as well. You know the one thing good I like about this thing, I now come to appreciate and respect the NSA more, who is in charge of security, who is not talking anyhow, and the chief of staff to the president. That you will see the brand of people. The NSA has not said the word. If they're talking about intelligence gathering, they are this, they are kidnappers, there is Boko Haram, there is something. The person who everything lies on his table is just looking at you. The chief of staff to the president is just looking at you. All what they are saying that they want to be relevant. They want to be relevant. They want to get, there's something happening in my neighborhood. I can do this. I will stop them. We need money. That's the bottom line. And it's so sad. It is very sad. It is very, very sad.
Okay, Mr. Bank-Anthony. We've heard the clamors of those who are pushing forward for indeed the Nigerian people pushing forward for the protests. And as we said earlier, those who are protesting against the protests. But be that as it may, now this demand for a better life, for good governance, the demands have been there. Yes, we've heard from the president's spokesperson saying the people of Nigeria have a right to protest. It's their given right. But what do you think the government should be doing? Is it about putting out palliatives, or, as you said, you don't agree with palliatives, or bringing the cost of food rises now 50%, and of course, the minister said it, that the government knows that even that what they are sending out now is not enough. Is that what they should be doing? What about things like cutting down their allowances, for instance, clearly stating it clear, cutting down the cost of governance? Because that's one of the things that the people are protesting about. You think that will make a difference?
Well, you know something, Mr. Egbe, right? You know something. Now, you know what happened last week when this man came out regarding Dangote refinery, the way he spoke. You understand me? Say some people went on social media, doing podcasts, already harassing Alhaji Dangote, accusing him in so many ways because they thought the president had something personal against him. They even went further down, you understand me, to say all sort of things. Oh, the president is minister of petroleum now. Why? He should decide, blah, blah. The president kept quiet. And what did he do? Yesterday was an indication. Yesterday was an indication. There is no way Dangote goes on food production, on art production, petroleum price will come down. Our food is there, our refinery is there, both for car, right, for home, for plane, for kerosene. So I'm telling you something. Don't get me wrong, I am a communicator. I'm not speaking for the president. I'm just giving you the fact that alone, to a lot of people, is a lot of relief. I just hope and believe that the NNPC will take instructions as given and make available crude to local refinery in Nigeria. That is it. We need it. We need it for our purpose, for our good, for our economy to move up. We need it. Those are the kind of incentives that we need. We are not beggars in Nigeria for crying out loud. 5,000, 50,000. But what now? I mean, people work. I heard somebody giving a story yesterday, Fayoshe, that he went to his state house, the man, he said he has 16 children for 34 but they've worked for 34 years. The man was not hungry now. Did not tell you he's hungry. 16 children, you have been doing that job for 34 years, he has 16 children. But the man did not tell you he's hungry. He comes with perks. He comes with perks. So for crying out loud, what we need more, right, is what will make life comfortable. If you want to monetize allowances to government staff, you can do it. But to general public, incentives. Because it's coming to something. We have the water transportation coming up, right? We have the metro line. I mean, we have other things going on. You understand me? They are claiming they want to stop Danfo from VI to Ajay going on. I mean, instead that will make life easier for people. Abuja is becoming more congested. We should think out of the box, not to be creating things that will make people to be scared. Already there is fuel scarcity now. What is causing fuel scarcity, for God's sake? For God's sake, what could we claim to be the reason for that? Nobody wants this country to degenerate. Nobody does. People want to protest. Let them protest peacefully and go back to their houses. Please, for God's sake, don't let that take over everything we are doing. Because some people, you keep calling them, they are students, they are jobless, they are other political party. In any crime. I remember when we all stood up here for Jonathan to be president, to replace Yadua. When we believe some grace we are coming up, we did across line. That is the Nigeria I know. Jonathan, about all subsidy, we stood up, we made a protest against him. June 12, I was one of the people that walked American embassy. The day after Babangida announced June 12 annulment, we go and deliver letter there. We walk all the way there to few other embassies. So I mean, people who just come into this game, who believe they are being arrogant, talking to people anyhow, are going to use for you. Where are you coming from?
Well, Mr. Bank-Anthony,
you should be more reasonable.
Indeed.
When we talk to our fellow Nigerians, it should be more reasonable, not condescending. Not condescending at all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tunde Bank-Anthony. He's a member of the All Progressives Congress and the former Director General of the Sports Commission in Lagos. Thank you for speaking with us this morning.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And just before we go, we do have your feedback. Let's see, I have this one here from Festus Akimboewa. He says, President Tinubu must win the race for energy security in Nigeria. His directive to NNPC to sell crude to Dangote Refinery and other local refineries in Naira is a good start. With Boa Refinery completing this year, fuel shortages will be a thing of the past in our country. That's from Festus Akimboewa.
And we have this one here from Imonoka Enakena. It says, crude oil exportation is responsible for the 90% of forex accruing to the Federation, since we're producing enough for exportation. Forex is needed for other foreign transactions. Where will government or CBN get them from? The bane of this government is that our fiscal policies do not tally with the reality on ground as an emerging economy.
Well, there's this email from Kola Kayode, and he says, there is something we, the youth of this country, want to know. Is the government serving us or are they against us? The reason for this protest is more than hunger and hardship. The policemen are really frustrating the youth. For example, I was driving in Lagos, taking my pregnant wife to the hospital. Getting to the entrance, there was serious construction work going on there. The road safety men directed me towards one way to drive one way, to park my car and look for another alternative to take my wife to the hospital. When I came back in the evening to move my car, I was intercepted by some thugs, and policemen asked me to come down from my car. Asked them why. They said I'm on a one-way drive. They saw other vehicles, heavy-duty trucks. But before I knew it, I was tear-gassed and my car was taken away from me. Since April 15, up till date, I have not been able to retrieve my car. The policemen asked me to pay 350K or they will take me to court. And if I get to court, I may not see me again. Please, what kind of country is this? I have been in court with them until now. Accusers have not brought evidence to court. Unknown to them that I am the youth president in my local government area. And this is why we want to protest. We are not benefiting from the government, and the government is still frustrating us. We will protest and we will defend ourselves. That's from Kola Kayode.
Unfortunate. We have this one here from Isa Momo, and it's titled End Bad Governance Protest. Can we pinpoint when bad governance started and do a comparative analysis of this bad governance by regime, period, and level? How does a protest end bad governance? If by the end of the 10 days earmarked for the protest, it's felt that bad governance has not ended, what would the protesters do? The only democratic way to end a government is by election.
Well, finally, we have this one from DC. Eyewitness on police arresting boys with placards in Lagos. It says, I saw those two boys about 4 p.m. at the Monarch Event Center holding blackboard that stated Hunger Day. Why will police arrest them? The police are always the problem in every protest that leads to loss of properties and anarchy. Just like NSAS, despite all their misconduct, yet they claim to be our friends. Agbo arresting peaceful protesters. When Masi started attacking the police stations like 1997 protests during Abacha, their wives will start shouting on media.
I mean, that is very unfortunate. And I think, yesterday we had that conversation where we're saying, look, it's a peaceful protest. If there are people who are being peaceful, and you notice that, because we saw people being arrested by touts, if they're not disturbing the peace, if it's just people going about holding their placards and you see people arresting them, let us know. I think that's what's happened here, a few people. So that's something that needs to be checked. So we do not have people arresting people arbitrarily on some kind of directive or whatever.
People are not citizens arrest. It's only the police that can arrest. But be that as it may, let's know this. We love our country, and I'm sure everybody loves this country because this is the only country they have. I want to thank you for letting us be a part of your morning. Go out there, be your best. Do not cause any trouble. Even if you do want to protest, be your best and work for the good of this country. So we'll bring another edition of the program. I'm Neo Taigbe. Thank you for watching.
And remember, the countdown is on. Remember, do not destroy anything. It just lends to those bad voices. I'm Kayla Nagwa.